Hello, Nimitz, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us for the first time on YouTube, this is a series where I, Maldhound, a known liar, hater, roaster of commander decks, will politely and calmly talk about your commander deck and its weird little PP. Your PP is your premise and your practicum. Your premise is the idea behind your deck. For this deck, it's Angel. And then your practicum is the stuff in your 99. For this deck, also Angel, if you can believe it. So we're going to spend a few minutes talking about the idea behind their deck, whether or not it can work in the bracket they want it to work in, and what compromises they may have to make it happen. And then we're going to talk about what they have in the deck, what we can swap out to make it work better. So this deck is just straight up, I want to play Angels. I like Giada. I build a lot of upgraded precons, but I'm trying to keep up with bracket 3 decks, and these goddamn combo players keep board wiping me. So we want to make the deck either faster or more robust, and I'm gonna, on a premise level, there's nothing wrong with that. Giada Angels can definitely play in bracket 3. I do think you're going to be on the lower end of bracket 3 rather than, pushing near bracket 4, because you're never going to have a combo. Your win is almost always going to be, I'm hitting you, I'm hitting you, I'm hitting you, I'm killing you with my mind and also my staff. And so that means the way you deal with the combo players, we could have you run a lot of removal, but it's going to be difficult to get the draw power for one-to-one removal to feel really good. So the way you're going to be dealing with people is either doing a one-sided board wipe, which white is decent at, or you just have to beat the combo player to death before they can combo. And you have to hope if you draw like a piece of removal, you have just enough to remove their important combo piece, or you have to politic with somebody else, be like, hey, I think they're going for a win. I'm just building up a board state. Can you stop them for a turn? I'll beat them to death, and then we can figure it out between the three of us. So from a kind of deck building philosophy, but also game piloting philosophy, you never want to build up a board that can beat everything. If you are in a meta that is combo heavy, that is interaction heavy, you never want to become a big enough problem that other people will band together against you. You want to always, always, always position yourself as the useful idiot a different combo player can use to remove their opposition, because that's going to enable you to have more turns to build up resources in your hands. That might mean you don't play out every angel you can. You don't play out the best angel you can, because if you get a big enough board that they're like, oh, they're going to kill all three of us next turn, you're going to get cooked every time. There's some individual cards I can recommend to you, but on a consistent long-term basis, you're not going to draw those cards as often as your opponents are going to draw removal. So with that in mind, let's start looking at what you do have. Okay. Okay, all right. What's your curve? Wrong. All right, so I think this is one of your big problems when it comes to your practicum. We have a really, really greedy mana curve. Everything being 4 mana means we're not casting important stuff until turn 3, which is not the end of the world, but it also means that we're probably tapping out for 1 spell every turn of the game. Not very imposing. If we're only tapping out for 1 spell every turn, we would rather be ramping really aggressively, and then that spell is always just some like dipshit game winner. Like, I'm down to tap out every turn to play something like Avacyn. And this is what like green players do a lot. This is why Simic decks often look so unbeatable, is they're either casting a million spells, or they're just like, yeah, I'm gonna tap out 1 spell. It costs more than your house. And it wins me the game on resolution. And so the problem here, I think, is we're going to go like, okay, Giada. Okay, Fire Main Commando, responsible synergy piece. Okay, Angel of Destiny is an angel. Okay, Archangel of Thune. And like, these all build up over time, but I don't think they build up quickly enough. And I think some of the ways they build up, I think we need to be much more focused on pushing damage. I don't like we've tagged it as a game ender. I think we've tagged it as a game ender because the rest of our angels or the rest of our strategy does not care enough about damage. You trying to gain life, I really don't like. Unless we were doing like Archangel of Thune Secret Commander, but like Dazzling Angel, God, if there are any other 3-mana angels we could play, I would rather play that. Like Giselle the Broken Blade, Flying First Strike, Lifelink. Do we have the meld in here? We do. Okay, because we have the meld, that's fine. Yeah, like, so, okay. Let's reconcile this with the advice I gave you earlier. You want to be positioned in your pod as somebody who can help shut down the problem, but you don't want to be the problem yourself until you're down to like 3 people left. Because of that, it makes me dislike big sources of lifelink. Because if you get a big source of lifelink and then you swing, like, let's say you curve out into this, curving out into this, you'd gain like, I don't know, only 4 life because you'd only have 2. You'd have 2 angels that could swing, so you gain like 10 life maybe. People would see that and then go, oh, on their next turn they're going to gain like 16, 17 life. Turn after that they're going to gain like 22. We have to start going after them now, because if we don't start going after them now, this boulder they're building up is just going to like run away with the game. The way I would be trying to do this is, you want to be building up the boulder, but you never want the boulder to be insurmountable. You want your opponents to think they're going to be able to get out of the way. They're going to be able to shove you to the side. And then when you're ready to do the like coup de grace, that's when you come in with the thing that's going to make you just straight up win. Like Double Strike and Lifelink might be that. Maybe Lyra Dawnbringer's that, but it is mostly the like, the primary resource we should be trying to build up is damage I can deal to one player. We don't want our board to necessarily be incredibly wide. I'm not convinced we want to be doing this like the big angel token thing, because even though it works very well with Giada, it also immediately convinces everybody that you must be stopped. And I don't think mono white deals with that very, very well. Mono white kind of has to maneuver politically. Let me look at the playtest and see how bad this ramp situation is. We do Windbrisk Heights. We get to, I'm putting Smother and Tithe under that. I know Brune is here, but I'm putting Smother and Tithe under. Turn 2, we get Giada. Turn 3, we get her with 1 counter. Turn 4. Now everything's really cheap. That's nice. When we gain life, we draw a card, but we have to gain life to do it. So we play this. Comes in with 2 counters. So we've built up 8 damage we can contribute to 1 person. Winds of Abandon is a great card. Good on you for including this. And then, yeah, this is another like, hey, makes a lot of angels. That should be great, right? This is global taunt. You are in the middle of the woods and you have slathered yourself with pig blood, and there are bears around. So from a political standpoint, I'm not sure I would recommend this. On our next turn, there's our girl Avacyn. So she's down from 8 to 6 mana, but we only have 4 mana to spend. So I'm probably going to cut a deal. I don't hit, well, no, I hit a land. All right. But it enters tapped. Horrifying. So I think this is the exact situation I don't want to play Lyra Dawnbringer in. Because if I play Lyra Dawnbringer, that represents 6, 10. I'm going to gain 13 life. It's going to be a big enough swing that everybody is going to look at me with contempt, but it's not going to be a big enough swing to lock the game up for me. The other issue we're having in this game is we're not hitting land drops. We're not hitting enough mana to cast any of our interaction. We also have interaction that fucks us. Don't play any of these. You're in white. You can definitely find one-sided board wipes. Make every board wipe not hit you. Because if the board wipe hits you, you're fucked right now anyway. So how many lands are we on? 36. And 7 of them enter tapped. So this would be fine if you were on mostly 2 and 3 mana angels. That would be okay. Because we are on so many like meaty 4-mana angels. We still have a ton of 5-mana angels. You either need to go up on lands or you have to go up on ramp. And then the next problem we have to solve is, how do I not run out of gas? And we have some card draw. I think this guy sucks his card draw, but he's a 3-mana Vigilant Angel, so that's something. Is there any way to get a Future Sight engine? What I mean by Future Sight is something that lets us play off the top of our library. Okay, no. Precognition, maybe. I know there's at least one that doesn't. Okay. Ally spells. Play lands. Cast a creature. That is no fucking good. Jesus. All right, so we're not going to be able to, unless I'm wrong about the tags, but I don't think I am. We're probably not going to be able to play from the top of our library, which means we're limited to, we have to pretty honestly draw these cards. Or, if you're having problems with board wipes, we can recur these cards. We already have a little bit of resurrection. Let me look and see if there are any other good recursion options. There's Sun Titan, Sabine's Reclamation. Yeah, the other issue we're going to get into that has to do with your mana curve is what white is best at bringing back is stuff that is 2 mana or 3 mana. It also has some skills in bringing back stuff that is low power, which does work a little bit better with angels, because many of these like mid mana cost angels have lower powers that they make up for by having good static effects. Do we have enough legendaries? Potentially, but this is an angle to consider. Is I'm going to bring in way more legendaries, or I'm going to bring in more artifacts because I'm going to ramp more, and that will let me bring back my cheap guys. But if we want to be resilient, recursion is how we become resilient. Because if you have a good recursion piece, one card can now represent drawing and casting 8 more cards. Angelic Destiny doesn't matter. Like Celestine is pretty difficult to argue against. And so I think for life gain, what I would be doing is I would have individual creatures that have lifelink, and I would have Archangel of Thune. I would not be doing I would not be doing Bishop of Wings or Dazzling Angel. And I don't think Baneslayer Angel is quite good enough to make the cup. What we want is like individual value engines that can draw us cards or bring back our earlier angels, or maybe even bring back our commander. Elspeth Conquers Death is a pretty solid one. This would function as a removal piece. It would slow down the combo players, and then it would be recursion for like your best angel as well. Revelark could be interesting. Do we have any good angels with power 2 or less? And now here's what you're noticing is very few of these are angels, and you wanted this to be angel typal. You're probably going to have to make a compromise on that if you want to continue participating in bracket 3, or you're just going to have to jam in like way more single target removal and way more non-creature card draw. Because like a core hypocrisy I disdain about typal decks is we're like, oh, all the creatures are one type, and then that theme extends no further, right? That's not your fault. I'm not trying to drag you specifically. It's just a thing that I can never not notice when people talk about like, oh, this deck is all about angels, except for this ring. This ring is all about being a good card. Smothering Type is all about being a good card. Generous Gift is all about being a good card. Stroke of Midnight, good card. And so you can still lean typal, you can still have the main thrust be angels, but there's going to be a lot of stuff that's really good for the deck that just happens to not be an angel, which in my view is not, it doesn't effectively break from the theme any harder than Folk Hero does, but that is up to your individual taste because it's your deck and you should love it. But Revelar could potentially be crazy because it could get back what? Could get back Angel of Destiny, who I don't really like, but it could. It could get back Karmic Guide to get back anything. It could get back Righteous Valkyrie. So maybe we are going to keep a fair amount of the life gain stuff. I think the life gain, the ones I would cut from the gain life section is Skirmisher, Baneslayer Angel, Bishop of Wings, Dazzling Angel. You can keep the rest, which is most of them. Angel of Indemnity is awesome. Mana value 4 or less, so this even spreads to more of your angels. And then Court, this is one I bring up a lot. Court, Sarah Paragon is probably more relevant to you because it's actually an angel, so it fits right in with the creature type thing. But look at it, it cares about mana value 3 or less. That's like, that's almost all of what white cares about. And so anything we can do, you could do Ray of Dawnbringer, you probably already have this one. No, we don't. But we don't have the ramp for her. That's the other problem. Okay. I'm coming around to it. No matter what you pick, play Season of the Burrow. Brings back mana value 3 or less, can double remove stuff, can make you a bunch of chump blockers, just like Stone Cold. Stone Cold, really good card. Yeah, looking at Smile at Death too. Okay. So it's all coalescing in my mind now. I think what would work best is you either commit to lower curve angels and you play more 3 mana angels, maybe more 2 mana angels, and you pull from the 4 and 5 mana angels to do that, and then you put in a lot of these recursion pieces, because these recursion pieces will make you tank through removal and board wipes like nobody else. Or, if you don't want to do that, you put in a really aggressive ramp package, and instead of doing like any 2 or 3 mana angels, you just do like massive crazy, the deck is oops all archangels. And so you would be playing stuff, Otag ramp, Commander White. I don't remember the syntax for this, even though it's been given to me a few times. But use this Scryfall Advanced syntax, Otag ramp, Commander White, and you want to look primarily for stuff that is giving you more than 1 mana when you tap it. So like Thrawn Dynamo, potentially Everflowing Chalice. You could even do Gilded Lotus, Hedron Archive, Worn Power Stone, Palladium Mirror. These types of things. So you're going to go like Giada. The turn after Giada, I'm going to skip because I'm playing a big ramp piece. And then it's like, I'm playing Avacyn, board wipe me now. Do something now. And it's just every turn is one massively valuable permanent. And the way we can get around the card draw problem then is you can begin to play other really, really greedy things. Like you can play the fucking Endstone type shit. This one's kind of bad for you because it sets you down to 20 every turn, but then those big life linkers become a little bit more valuable. You can do the Endstone, you can do the 10 rings, you can do the fucking planar bridge. There's a lot of stuff you can do that is just seems absurd when you run a really chunky ramp package. Let me check on that low curve plan. We want it to be an angel. Commander's white. We want mana value less than or equal to 3. 24 cards. How bad are these though? Kind of rough, but draws a card. Okay, this one cares about life gain, so we could probably replace a more expensive life gain one with this one. You have this one. I didn't see this one. I really don't want to keep this in. I really don't want to keep that in. I really don't want to play her. I don't know if flickering does anything for you. Oh, you could play Holy Cow. That's so fucking funny. Okay. That's looking rough to me. I'll be totally honest with you. I don't think it's impossible, but many of these angels are stone cold dog shit, and even when combined with Giada's ability, I don't think they're gonna get that imposing. So we may, or you may just want to take like the recursion stuff that doesn't necessarily care about mana value, or you could swap in like one or two, and then cut a few of your more expensive angels for other ramp. And then even if you get board wiped, that'll make Tashar valuable. Celestine still has a number of targets. Revelark will still have a lot of targets. Elspeth Conquers Death has a lot of targets. Angel of Indemnity will have a ton of targets because it's CMC 4 or less. And then the last thing is I want the White Paradigm spell from Strixhaven. Restoration Seminar. If you chunk up your ramp, by chunking up your ramp, I mean like 5 to 10 total pieces. And you can get to Restoration Seminar every turn I bring something back. Congratulations, you are now unboard wipeable. So if anybody has any angel specific tech that I missed, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I wish you the very best, and I do hope this helps.